What's up, gang? Welcome back to a very, very long-awaited e-skate review. Today we are finally looking at the Acedeck Nomad N1.
Scotty.
So let's talk about the variants of the Nomad N1. It's super windy, I really hope you can hear me today. There's three variants, you may already know this. There is the 14S 3P belt drive, and that's got Moly cell P42A cells in it. You've then got the 14S 3P gear drive, that's also got the same Moly cell P42 cells. And then you've got the big daddy, the top of the range one, the 1799 model US, and that is gear drive with a 14S 4P, and that's got the Samsung 40T cells. All three boards use the same motors, which we'll talk about in the video. There is an ESC difference between the first one, which is the belt drive. So if you go for the belt drive with the Moly cell P42A cells, you're only going to be getting a 60 amp ESC, which I believe is very similar, if not the same, as the Aries X1. I had to think about that. Lots of names, lots of details. The two top tier boards, the 14S 3P and the 14S 4P with the gear drive, both have a 90 amp ESC, which is based on the NYX board, but that's been upgraded and this is now their 3.0 ESC. So what model are we testing out today? Well, I'm very, very happy and lucky and proud that they have supplied me with their top tier model. So this is the 14S 4P gear drive Samsung 40T. So this has got the highest capacity, very good discharge, and it's got their brand new latest release gear drive motors. All right, so let's start off with the deck. Let's work our way through the board. The deck is, in my opinion, something very, very special. The shape and also how it's been made is pretty incredible. You've got multiple layers on this board, which is gonna make it super strong, but it's not gonna have any flex. So to answer that question straight away, no, the Nomad is not a flexi board. It's got maple, fiberglass, bamboo, maple, bamboo, maple, bamboo, fiberglass, and more maple. So that's a total of 9 layers making up the Nomad N1 deck. The next thing we have to address is its shape. It has this really nice W concave right through the middle here. You may be able to see it, you may not. Really nice concave edges, exactly where your heel and toe go. But the biggest deal, the biggest difference with this board is how they've been inspired by downhill skateboarders, downhill racers. They've got an 8% incline on the nose, and they've got an 8% decline on the tail, if that's the right term. So you've got a split angle electric skateboard deck with 9 layers of maple, bamboo, and fiberglass. So this board is gonna be so strong, and it's gonna handle very, very well. All right, so next up, let's talk about the trucks. This is their new optimized 2.0 TKP trucks. Basically all that means is that they have slightly redesigned them. It's a 45-degree angle base plate. They're 11 inches wide, that's axle to axle, and they are CNC milled. So they look good and they perform amazingly well. You remember how awesome the Aries X1 and the NYX goes? Well, this goes just as well, if not better, because it's got that slightly shorter wheelbase and that optimized ESC. So it's very smooth and super powerful. So you can control your carve and you're not all jerky as you're trying to control as you're going in and out of the carve. So if we move along the trucks, we get to the ends obviously, and this is their beautiful CNC milled wheels. The rims speak for themselves. These are an absolutely beautiful CNC rim, again made in-house by Acedeck. And then you've got these tires. These are a co-collaboration between Hota and Acedeck. They're 180 mil by 65. Oh my God, this is so steep. I'm not gonna make it. Oh my God, we are gonna make it. How did we make that? That's crazy. Okay, so the power is insane. I don't know if you can see how steep that incline was. I wasn't even near full acceleration and we just went up it from a standstill on the incline. So power, 90 amp ESC with those 40T cells, massive tech. Okay, so let's move under the board to the enclosure. It is a carbon fiber enclosure that runs the length of the board. It has built-in atmospheric lights, let's call them. They can't be changed. They're blue on the side and there's white on the front. Will they replace the shred lights? No, you're still gonna need shred lights or some sort of headlight if you wanna ride at night. Do they look really nice? Yeah, they do. Easy to operate, you can control them from the remote control, and I think it's a really nice addition to have them in there. Again, controlled from the remote control, run off the board, so no need to charge them up. Charge the board and off you go. All right, I want to show you the acceleration. And I really don't want to do this because I can't go full acceleration on this board in Sports Plus. The NYX, I can just do it. On this board, I can't. I'll try my absolute best, but you'll get a sense or an understanding of the off-the-line torque of this board. There's very few boards that I've tested that I can't just go full acceleration from start. All right, so this isn't gonna be full, it's gonna be the best I can do. Wish me luck. 3, 2, 1. Ah, nowhere near. Oh, far. Oh. Okay, this needs to have launch control. All right, so let's talk about these motors and these gear drives. They are a 6.384 motor, 150 kV. So that really assists and helps with that low down torque and power. The gear drives are their second version, second iteration, whatever you want to call it. They're not the same as the NYX. They've taken a whole lot of learnings from those and they've made 2 new models. This is one of them and they're just as good. Like, I couldn't say they're better. They're definitely as quiet, which blew everybody away at EskateCon. The #1 comment I got about the NYX was, it is so quiet. And this board, listen, I'll shut up for a second. It just doesn't sound like a gear drive. You pair those gear drives with those really big 6.384 motors, and it just feels like a match made in heaven. Combine that with that deck, with that split angle, and that really nice weight to power ratio. I don't know, I feel like this is a real game changer for a board as far as performance, looks, handling. All right, braking test on the Nomad N1. Let's get up to our normal 25 kilometers per hour. Right, that's 25. And I'm gonna hit the brakes in 3, 2, 1. All right, so we hit the brakes right here on the stain. So that is about 2 meters, maybe 2.5. Very strong, really, really responsive. And that's set at 80%. Really quickly, just some basic specs before we end the video, and I am going to end it with what I love and a couple of things I don't love or like about the board, a couple of opportunities. Specs, this one is 806 watt hours, so this is the 14S 4P with the 40T cells. The other two are 635 watt hours, so they're the 14S 3Ps, both with Moly cell P42As. The weight of this board is 17.5 kilos. The other two are 15 for the belt drive and 16 for the gear drive with the Moly cell P42A cells. So a very respectable weight for a very, very high performance production board. And all three come with their Acedeck, very standard remote control. Nice simple screen, a nice really smooth thumb wheel, 2 buttons, it's pretty basic. USB-C charge port. Tell you what, I hope you can hear that, but when you get over 55, we were just on 56 kilometers per hour, that is, it gets this like jet fighter whine to it. It sounds beautiful. Some people will hate it. I think most will really, really like it. I hope you could hear that just then. If you can't, I'll do a follow-up video and I'll put a microphone down there so you can hear it. But it only comes on at around the 50 mark, and everything past there, it just gets louder and louder. It sounds like a jet engine. Okay, so we're almost at the end, and I wanted to talk about a couple of opportunities, a couple of things I think may have been slightly overlooked, and I'm sure it can be easily corrected moving forward. As always, this is an opportunity. This is not a threat or a risk. It's something very, very minor that I like to point, or I like to call out. The first thing, now I haven't spoken about the grip tape. I love the grip tape. It's really, really coarse. It looks beautiful. It doesn't look like every other board out there, just like everything else about the Nomad N1. But there's one thing, and I really hope they can fix it. It should be simple. So right here, you can see the matting that is covering, and I'm guessing it's the power cable from the charge port. They need to get rid of that star, I think, just to make it look cleaner. Stop cutting that star, because you don't want to see that on a premium product. Now the next thing I think is a massive opportunity or an oversight is the underbody lights. I think it's great. They're just blue, white on the front. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a slight problem with is the function. So let me show you. The lights are on. I've double clicked. The lights are on. They're off now. The lights are on. I'm riding along. When I brake, they flash. Hopefully you can see that. The blue ones and those nice bright white ones, I'm hoping you can see it. I honestly don't know if you can. If you can't, I'll just overlay some footage. I don't want that. I don't want those lights to flash. If it was a rear tail light and a red one, 100% makes sense. But if I'm riding along and you're constantly braking in group rides, I just don't need to see lights flashing under the board. For me, that's annoying. If it was an option, you could just have it solid or have it reactive, great, do that. But the way it currently is, I'm not the biggest fan. All right, guys, that does wrap up this very first ride and review of the Acedeck Nomad N1. Whew, it's a mouthful. So much to love about this board. The motors, the split angle deck, the precision CNC milled trucks, those beautiful co-collaboration tires between Acedeck and Hota, the 90 amp ESC, the 40T Samsung cells, the gear drive, the built-in underglow lights. And as I said, there's really only those two little opportunities that I think would make this board absolutely perfect. In the very near future, we've got a couple more videos coming out on this board. We're gonna do an independent range test. So we're gonna put this to the test around Brisbane, hills, speed, start, stop, that sort of thing. And we're gonna pull apart those gear drives and have a look how they've worn after maybe 250 kilometers. So that's videos that are all coming up in the next, let's say 8 weeks. And I think it won't take me very long to get that many kilometers under my belt. The last point I want to make, and it comes down to the performance of this board. If you're after something that's really vanilla, this isn't the board for you. I'm taking the vanilla term from Daniel Kwan. He talked about it about 1.5 years ago, that there was a stage we went through where lots of production boards were coming out and they were just vanilla. Same parts, same deck, same esque. This is the exact opposite. This is the rocky road. This is the goody gumdrop ice cream. If you want a vanilla board, this probably isn't the board for you. If you want to have a board where you can go to eSkateCon next year and win, obviously not the pro class, no one can beat the Stooge boards, but this is the board for you. This is so fast. It's got the performance, it's got the stability, it's got the carve. New favorite board under my feet right now. The funny thing is, it just replaced the NYX from my absolute favorite board. Side note, there is a video coming. I started making it, I haven't finished it. It's to celebrate 10,000 subscribers, so a massive thank you to all you guys and girls who are watching. We will be giving away an electric skateboard on that video. Well, I'll be announcing how to win on that video. So if you want to win a brand new skateboard, make sure you watch my 10,000 subscriber video. It's going to be really easy to win, and we'll ship it anywhere in the world. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Skate safe, wear a helmet, and we'll see you on the next video. Duck.
Scotty.
Oh.